please welcome Holly Becker. She's our next speaker. Hello, Holly. Hello. Nice to see you. As an interior designer, blogger, and trend expert, and you have more vocations than that, for years now, you have been following interior design trends. Due to the pandemic, our living space has also become our workspace in some cases. And we are looking forward to hearing the effects on interior design, what is important now, and what role do floor coverings play? And my last question, what can visitors look forward to when it comes to mood spaces at DOMOTEX? We're looking forward to your presentation.
It's nice to be here today. Thank you for having me. I'd like to present something that I put together that I think would be very interesting for everyone watching. It's called Interiors, What Matters Now. And I put this together because I feel like we're looking at our homes a lot differently today than we were 2 years ago. And it's because of Corona, right? So let's get started. I will talk a little bit more about why I put together this presentation, because I feel like after so many lockdowns that we've gone through, we've had a lot of time at home, and we've learned that we really use our home differently. We socialize there differently, we learn differently, we work from home in new ways. We relax in new ways, we shop differently. Everything has really changed. And I really know that this time frame will change us permanently in how we live at home. So the question that I'm proposing today is, what about interiors now? How are we looking at our homes now? So I have put together 3 C's, and they don't have to do with Corona, thank God. The 3 C's that I'm going to break down quickly for you, because I was told I have 15 minutes, but this is a passion topic, so I could go for an hour. Curious color mix, consciousness, and comfort. So let's get started. If anyone's watching, you're welcome to take screenshots if you can't follow me as quickly as I'm speaking. Curious color mix. Now, this is interesting for me because a lot of people now are using lots of neutrals and beige in interiors. All it takes is 5 minutes on Instagram, and you can see that. But I'm seeing more and more people putting together very interesting color combinations. If you watch the trends that just came out of Saloni and Milan, also even at Dutch Design Week last week, at the Formland show in Denmark, in Herning, the 3 days of design in Copenhagen, you saw this more and more, these playful, curious, joyful, uncommon color combinations with a really strong leaning towards greens, tones of green. This is an interesting quote that I pulled off of my friend Gudi Herda, who is a trend expert with Eclectic Trends. And she observed when she was in Milan recently that there was a collaboration team of 2, Osinio and Hofmeyer, and they did an interesting experiment during Design Week where they transformed a space, and I'll quote, "I'll be your mirror" was the name of this trend space that they set up for visitors. And it's an exhibition offering visitors the opportunity for self-reflection through a burst of colorful interiors, meticulous tile design, and a selection of furniture. So you can see already the direction trends are taking towards color just from this one photo. And then, of course, drawing attention to favorite corners and objects through color. I see this as being more and more important because we've been so much in our home that we've had a lot of time to look in those corners and to look through things and to see what works and what doesn't. And also, our dining rooms have turned into offices. Rooms have taken on new functions. So we were looking at every corner in our house to see what could be used better. And I believe that color helps us to really highlight spaces and to bring attention to spaces that we may have forgotten formerly. And also part of this recognizing color is really using it as a tool for self-reflection, being bold, being a lot more unapologetic in our design choices, and really having a lot of fun with color. It also, color is uplifting, and that's what we need now more than ever before. The next trend is consciousness. This is one that I hold very close to my heart because it really encompasses a lot of different things. Conscientious design is very full, so we will take it here step by step. This is a girlfriend of mine up in Hamburg. She's a yoga teacher, and I love her spirit and her positivity, and this shirt is so cute. It says, "Good girl." That's what we all want to be ultimately, right? We want to be better people. And we have to ask, when it comes to design, do my choices support the greater good? If it's good for the planet, it's good for me. That's something that more and more people are thinking about, especially the younger generations. I want to point your attention now to this chair. This is the Kata Chair by Italian brand Arper, and it's sustainably designed with FSC certified wood, and the upholstery is actually made from post-consumer plastic waste. So what I'm encouraging is that going forward, we make smarter, more sustainable choices. Now, we know sustainability is what people talk about a lot, and I understand why. But a lot of people feel discouraged because they know that they can't afford everything in their home to be sustainable. What I'm asking is that you do your part by making smarter, more sustainable choices through specific things that you're buying. Of course, no one can be 100% sustainable, but you can try. You can try to purchase maybe 10% of your things sustainable, eco-friendly. Just think more about what you're putting your money into. I love this quote from Benjamin Hubert. He's a British industrial designer, and he recently said, leading design brands need to stop valuing affordability over sustainability or risk becoming obsolete. That's a strong statement, isn't it? But it definitely is true. Also, when it comes to conscientiousness, we need to ask questions. This was a tour that I took in Romania of Tisca, a rug manufacturer who is based in Austria. And they're manufacturing rugs in Romania. And I was so impressed because I met the artisans, the women who were actually making their rugs. I saw where the wool was shipped from all over the world. We have to ask questions. Where are things coming from, especially when it comes to flooring and when it comes to the things that we're using every single day in our home? Where are products made? Who's making them? Where are the materials sourced? Are workers treated fairly? And is child labor involved? Another part of conscientiousness is mindfulness at home. And I don't mean doing yoga and meditation. That's wonderful, but this is more when it comes to exploring how you can use your interiors to aid living intentionally, right? Slow living, creating mindful spaces that help uplift you through color or put you in a specific mood, the impact of scent. All of these things are really a big topic right now. A friend of mine in London recently wrote a book called The New Mindful Home and How to Make It Yours. Her name is Joanna Thornhill, and the book is excellent. And I suggest anyone watching this who has an interest in the mindful aspect of living to look through this book because it is fabulous. I love this book very, very much. Also, shopping handmade. This is all about being conscientious, right? It's thinking more about what are you buying? Is it, something that you maybe could buy from a vintage shop or a secondhand shop? These things are no longer looked down on. If you shop handmade or even vintage, which I'll get into on the next slide, shopping handmade can give us a good feeling because we're doing the right thing. We're helping small businesses. We're helping artisans to keep their craft alive. And this is just channeling into the overall vibe of our communities. Because if we're supporting people to continue doing what they love, then what happens is that feeling is felt on a community level. People love what they do for a living, and we can feel this. Also, shopping handmade is helpful in that it gives our home more character. It gives the things in our home more of a story and makes the home feel more warm and loving. And this gets right into vintage, which is another thing that is fast approaching with shoppers wanting to buy more vintage. As an interior designer, when people come to me with photos of their rooms and say, Holly, my room lacks character, it's cold, it looks like a hospital. No, most of the time I look at the room and I say, you need color and you need to add some vintage pieces. These things add character. They take that catalog aesthetic right away, and instantly your home feels loving and warm and nurturing. There's just something about it. There's something about the warmth in having pre-loved pieces. I also note that these things can be more affordable. And I put a question mark because some vintage pieces are actually quite expensive, but I'm talking here about looking for affordable pieces. And the other C is comfort. Comfort is so important, and we've learned this through the pandemic because we've been spending so much time at home, right? We're surrounded by our things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're doing videos like this all the time. We're just at home, and we want to be more comfortable there. I don't know about you, but I think during the pandemic, I've been thinking about my priorities. Where do I spend the most time in my home? Which spaces do I love? Which spaces do I like the least? How can I make my home really work for me, right? And about comfort too, it's about introducing tactile elements. And what I mean by that is things that you can touch and feel that make you feel cozy and loved and great. And as human beings, we really need touch. We need to touch each other, which we can't right now. We can't run down the street and hug our friends like maybe we used to. It's a really hard time when you can't touch other people, when you're only surrounded by your immediate surroundings. You don't have a lot of interaction with other things, right? For me personally, I spent a lot of time at home and a lot of time in the forest behind my house, and that was it. But to feel leather again, to touch different stones and woods and these different things, this really resonates with us and creates an emotional response. And these tactile elements, when we introduce them more in the home, it really uplifts us and makes us feel better. Another part of comfort is color. Back to color again, but I'm speaking more about color that has a feeling of being outside. So these earthy neutrals, again, we're seeing green, hints of terracotta, peach. These are soothing, reassuring, cocooning, and they calm us during times of change, which that's what we're in right now, right? Times of change. We want our home to feel more secure and safe. And yeah, like that's our cocoon. That's our place where we go. And that's where no one requires us to wear a mask or not touch another person. The home is just that place where you can just be yourself. And that's a great thing, especially during these times we're living in at the moment. And another part of this I see with comfort is, minimalism was a big thing, I'm not going to lie. And maximalism is also a big thing. We can see this in the examples of someone like Jonathan Adler or Kelly Wearstler. They're all just bringing in so much into a space. But then on the other side, we see designers like Lotta Agaton in Sweden and others who are more on the minimalist side. I'm saying let's find a little bit of balance now, not too little, not too much. So it's not about minimalism or maximalism. It's about finding that middle point, because when you're home a lot, you start to see that if you're minimalist, maybe the table, the rug, and the lamp just isn't enough. Maybe you needed storage. Maybe you needed more places to put your cables for your laptop or whatever. So because we've been using the home in a different way, sometimes the trend that worked before for us, or the way we used to live before the pandemic, no longer works for us today. So that's why I'm saying we may be bringing in a little bit more. But again, it's all about feeling cozy, safe, protected, a restorative environment, enveloping, functional, and also furniture that feels good. I don't know about you, but during this whole thing, being home a lot, I realized that about 20% or 30% of my furniture is not comfortable at all. It looks good, but it's not comfortable. It's not relaxing to sit in or to whatever. And personally, I have sought out to change this because I feel now that comfort and being at home needs to be 100%. Everything needs to feel good, from the rug underneath my feet to the pillow that I'm cuddling up with on the sofa. So that is it for the 3 C's, comfort, consciousness, and color. Now I want to briefly speak to you about mood spaces. This is something that I was commissioned to work on for DOMOTEX. I've been working with DOMOTEX for several years. It's always a joy and a privilege for me. And so to be asked to work on mood spaces was a great honor, because I'm passionate about design and showing trends. And I was able to get together some of my friends who work in the design industry, and they were also so excited to be part of our mood spaces. So let me just introduce you right now to these are our designers. I'm so excited to show them to you, because it's an honor to have these great German designers. Well, it's a teaser. I'll tell you in a moment. Just one more minute. So Hall 7, I think, has changed to Hall 13. I'm not sure, but the mood spaces will be at DOMOTEX regardless of where you will find them. It will be an area where you'll see 6 booths designed by interior designers. We're going to represent current trends, what's happening in the world of design, and really the interaction between floors and walls, and then interior design, how all of that fits together. We really want to inspire visitors, because ultimately, when it comes to flooring, whether it be rugs, wood surfaces, acoustic paneling for the walls, whatever it is, people need these things to live and enjoy their home. You need a floor, you need a rug, you need all of these things. But you also need the sofa table, the lamps, and etc. So we want to show and help people to envision all the beautiful flooring and things that they're finding at DOMOTEX, to help them to envision them in their own life and in their own space. And that's what these mood spaces are set up to do. So now, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Here are our designers. We may have one more coming on board. I still need to get confirmation, but these are who we have working with us for DOMOTEX 2022. And I'm so excited. We are joined by Sebastian Herkner, and he is going to show us the theme Bohemian Honesty. Studio Bissot Marguerre, and they will show us eclectic shapes. Designer Peter Ferrens, and his theme is Space on Earth, Earth in Space. Mark Brown will show New Optimism, and I will show Touch Me and See Me. So we will build these out and show them all to you in the coming weeks or months, and you'll see them at the fair in person. So yes, so that's my presentation. I have loved being here. I'm very happy to be asked to come back to DOMOTEX, and I hope that you not only enjoyed the presentation and learned something, but that you look forward to seeing our mood spaces in January. So thank you very much.
Participated last time and for the next edition. So is there something, what's your personal highlight?
Yes, my personal highlight every time I'm at DOMOTEX is to really walk around and meet the sellers and hear the stories about where things are being manufactured. There are so many there that do such a good job, like Jaipur Rugs comes to mind, Tiska, Hussein Rizvani, all of these people at DOMOTEX, Edo Grund, they are giving such a beautiful presentation of their rugs, but also they're explaining more about their rugs and how they're made and where they're made. And this is something that I really look forward to, because honestly, before I started to go to DOMOTEX several years ago, I really didn't grasp or comprehend what was involved in manufacturing of rugs. I think the consumer out there just doesn't get it. They don't really know where the stuff comes from that's in their home. It just shows up. And I think that at DOMOTEX, people have a real opportunity to educate consumers and the trade, so the trade can educate their consumers on how rugs are made, where they're coming from, the materials, the work involved. And yeah, I think this is, to me, this is what I really look forward to when I see DOMOTEX. And of course, seeing all the trends and what's coming, it's always exciting for a Trendexpert.
That's great. Thank you very much, Holly Becker. We're looking forward to you and the Mood Spaces in January at DOMOTEX 2022.